Alright, this is your review for your rates quiz. If you're making corrections, make sure you have a scrap piece of paper and you write down all of the steps. Number 1, Dwayne can do 46 pull-ups in 2 minutes. Find the rate. 46 pull-ups over 2 minutes. Our total amount of activity over our total amount of time. Use the information to answer questions 2 and 3. A camera is capable of snapping 3/4 of a picture per second. Number 2. How long will it take the camera to snap 6 pictures? Pictures over seconds. 3/4 of a picture in 1 second is 6 pictures in how many seconds? So when you cross multiply and then divide by 3/4, you end up getting 8. Number 3, how many pictures can be snapped within a 36-second period? I'm going to use that same information, pictures over seconds. 3/4 of a picture can be taken in 1 second, but what if I have 36 seconds? Remember, seconds have to stay in the same row, pictures have to stay in the same row, always. So when you cross multiply and then divide by 1, you figure out that you can take 27 pictures. Answer the questions below. Be sure to show your work. Very important. That's how you get partial credit. If you just have a wrong answer and there's no work, you get 0 points. Number 4, a baker's dozen, 13, of cookies is on sale for $4.94. How much does each cookie cost? Money over cookies. I spent $4.94 for 13 cookies. But what if I only bought 1 cookie? Cross multiply and then take that answer and divide by 13. And you figure out that each cookie is going to cost you 38 cents. Number 5, the NFL regulation extra point is kicked 15 yards from the goal line. How many inches away from the goal line is the extra point kick? Alright, so I want to go from yards to inches. 15 yards. We want to know how many inches that is. So if I have 1 yard, how many inches is that? You had your conversion paper in class. You kept it in your binder. But 1 yard equals 3 feet. We know 1 foot equals 12 inches. So if each foot's 12 inches and I have 3 of them, 12 times 3 equals 36 inches. So cross multiply and divide by 1. We figure out that 15 yards is the same thing as 540 inches. Number 6, you needed your conversion chart for this as well. How many kilograms are in 14,500 grams? Set up your proportion, just like I've done in all the problems. 1 kilogram equals 1,000 grams. Cross multiply and then take that answer and divide it by 1,000. You figure out there are 14.5 kilograms in 14,500 grams. Number 7, a water cooler holds 1,536 ounces. Okay. Each bottle holds 16 ounces. So if I have one bottle, I have 16 ounces. How many water bottles can be filled from the water cooler? Cross multiply and then divide, and you figure out that you can fill 96 bottles. Use the information to answer questions 8 through 12. A small greeting card company prints and ships greeting cards throughout the year. Number 8. Rodney is able to package and ship 416 cards in 8-hour workday. So 416 cards in 8 hours. Write an equation to represent Rodney's rate, where H represents hours and C represents the total amount of cards. You learned that we had to figure out our unit rate to find that number that never changes in order to make our equations. So I have these 416 cards in 8 hours, but how many cards is Rodney making in 1 hour? So cross multiply and divide, and you figure out that he's making 52 cards in 1 hour. So now you have to decide, where's H going to go, where's C going to go in our equation. 52 is never going to change. Okay, so 52 cards times the number of hours that I work will tell me the total amount of cards that I made. Okay, so it's 52H equals C. Number 9. An equation, P equals 1.5 m, represents the rate at which the printer prints cards, where P represents the number of cards and m represents minutes. How many minutes will it take the printer to print 93 cards? So we're talking about cards and minutes. I want to know, if I have 93 cards, how many minutes is that going to take the printer? So I need to figure out what my other proportions would be. That number in our equation is never going to change. That's our unit rate. The printer can print 1.5 cards in 1 minute. My minutes stayed in the same row, my cards stayed in the same row. Cross multiply, take your answer, 93, and divide it by 1.5, and you figure out it will take the printer 62 minutes to print those 93 cards. Number 10, a faster printer is being considered in order to speed up the process. Use the table below to determine the rate of the new printer. Alright, so you were taught to pick a certain area in a table. It doesn't matter as long as you pick within the circle. Okay, so we're just going to take one of these circles. I'm going to pick the smallest numbers because they're usually easier to work with. Cards and minutes. This table tells me we can make 21 cards in 10 minutes, but I don't know what the rate is for the printer in 1 minute. So in 1 minute, when you cross multiply and then take 21 divided by 10, we figure out in 1 minute this new printer can print 2.1 cards. 2.1 cards per minute. Number 11. The process has been streamlined, and Rodney is able to pack and ship the cards more quickly. Use the graph to determine Rodney's new rate. Alright, so Rodney has the solid black line on our graph, and there's a dot. A dot is what we need. What does that dot tell us? Rodney can pack 300 cards in 4 hours. Cards in hours. 300 in 4 hours. Well, how much is he doing every single hour? So if I only have 1 hour, cross multiply, and then take that answer and divide, we figure out he's making 75 cards in 1 hour. Number 12. How much faster is Rodney at packing and shipping than Patty? Well, we already figured out Rodney makes 75 cards per hour. So in order to figure out how much faster he is, we've got to figure out what Patty's doing every hour. So Patty, her dot on her line says that she can make 300 cards in 5 hours. So if Patty only works 1 hour, cross multiply and then divide 300 by 5 to figure out Patty is making 60 cards in 1 hour. Okay, there's Patty's information. Here's Rodney's information. And it says, how much faster is Rodney compared to Patty? So I need to find the difference between those two numbers. Rodney minus Patty is 75 minus 60, which equals 15. So Rodney packs and ships 15 more cards per hour compared to Patty.